we're now going to have a very special session with some extremely special guests coming in. Our session brings together an exceptional panel of entrepreneurs, of investors, and industry experts who are going to be delving into the heart of the D2C and the e-commerce revolution. Please join me now in welcoming our distinguished panelists. I'm going to start off with Aman Gupta, co-founder and CMO at Boat Lifestyle, whose journey from CA to building India's leading audio brand offers some real insights in consumer understanding. Hey Aman, good to see you. Next up, we have Kanwaljit Singh, founder and managing partner at Fireside Ventures, whose experience really spans from FMCG to D2C investments. Up next, Harshil Salot, co-founder at The Sleep Company, who brings engineering innovation to traditional categories. And finally, Abhinav Singh, Vice President of Operations at Amazon India, who's played a key role in setting up Amazon's pan-India logistics and supply chain network. And that's a network that's really helping small businesses and D2C brands reach customers all across India and across the world. So thank you so much. Please join us. Well, thank you all so much for being with us. Let's just dive straight in, for D2C brands, building them the way you've done it with Boat. How does that entire exercise work? And the e-commerce revolution that we're now seeing, has it made it so much easier? Why don't you start first, Aman?
I would let the father of D2C in India, Kanwal, start first.
Okay, why don't you start first then? Take it in turns. You shoot first.
Sure, Vikram. Good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to be here. I think the whole idea of e-commerce really is, I would say, really born out about 10 years ago. And what we are seeing is that there is a completely new paradigm of how brands are getting built, how consumers are consuming brands. And one of our biggest joys is to be associated with hundreds of these brands who have come in and changed the way consumption is getting defined and how the young generation of consumers is today consuming. So, we are the kingmakers. We promote, brands like Aman and Harshil. So, I would love to hear their stories more than, talk about our experiences. Aman, you want to talk about your journey?
Actually, let's just start at the very beginning. And there are a lot of people out there have this dream. Let's start a business. Let's do D2C. Let's create a business together. That entrepreneurial spirit is very much there in Indians, and people think it's easy. And then they look at you and they say, well, look at the fantastic success and how easy it must have been to build Boat and build out a brand like that. How do you start up? Is it as easy as it looks? Because before Boat, there were, 5 other businesses or 4 other businesses that were not that easy. So how do you do that? How do you make that start?
So, hi everyone. So when we started 2016 ke aaspas, right? You guys okay with Hindi, right? A little bit of Hindi is okay, right?
Yeah.
So when we started, tab na brands zyada the nahi, right? There was no, there was not a very big Indian brand business which had come in India, right? People were still buying, at least in our, not even in our category, in many other categories. A lot of foreign brands were very popular here, right? Indian brands were perceived to be a very cheap price product category, right? So hum log bhi jab aaye to people never used to think that, as an Indian brand, they will be able to do something different. But I think the time was right. At the same time, I think Amazon was also starting. 2016, e-commerce was just picking up. We were starting at the same time. People say, the A of Boat is actually Amazon, is all I always say. So, हम लोग जब start कर रहे थे, तो Amazon भी start हो रहा था. So we got a lot of, I would say the right time was there. The country was changing, consumers were changing, products were changing, new marketplaces were coming in. And to look at it today, at one point, 2016 when we started, we were competing with the German, Chinese, and Japanese brands. And today we have the biggest competition is with Indian brands. So now Indian brands are taking over the global brands in India. And if you see any category today, right, if you see not only in electronics, if you see, even in luggage, where we know Mokobora as a brand, right? I never thought Mokobora as a brand in luggage will start doing so well. And look at them, that even in the smallest of category, Harshal is doing a great job in what he's doing. So I think all categories we see now Indian brands coming up and becoming big, which is a good sign for us.
I remember that time when you were starting of 2016, I used to do this program called Gadget Guru. And when somebody said, hey, try out this thing called Boat. And I said, hey, Boat kya hai? We'd never heard of it. And the fact that you could compete on quality with many other companies is actually really, really great. When you're coming up with an idea, let me turn to you, Harsha. When you're coming up with an idea, when you're thinking of something, one thing to have a great idea, executing also then becomes very important. And how do you pick the right sector to look at? Like sleep mattresses is not necessarily a startup idea that jumps out and bites you.
Yeah, so Vikram, our journey started with a personal problem. When Priyanka, my wife, who's also my co-founder, we were expecting our first kid. She had a terrible time sleeping. We tried product after product. We realized two things. The quality of products available in India were not really good. And also the kind of customer service or the place that you could buy these kind of products were not very appealing. So that kind of struck us, and we said that we want to really innovate on the product and make it a much more comfort-led product, and hence we spent 1.5 years researching on a new technology, experimenting with hundreds of materials. We roped in Dr. Vijay Tripathi, who was the ex-polymer head of DRDO, to help us with the research. And after 1.5 long years, we were able to really launch a product. And it's been 5 years since we did that. And what we're realizing is the benefit of the research and the hard work that we did to come up with something very, very innovative. And what we're seeing today is sleep is becoming so important. Our lifestyles have changed dramatically over the last 5 years post-COVID. Our exposure to screens have increased. Work is stressful. And we, I believe, are playing at the epicenter of the changing consumer mindset and health trends that are shaping up, where mattress is now really looked upon as a very, very strong derivative of sleep, as a health and well-being product. And, that's how we started our journey. We continuously focused on improving customer experience. We now have more than 126 experience centers across the country, where we are focusing on educating. We're focusing on telling the customers why you need to invest in the right kind of product, because you're going to be spending 8 hours of your life, day in and day out, over the next 10 years on this particular product. And it makes all the sense to really invest in the right kind of product.
Right, Abhinav, now the experience for you working with a large number of D2C companies, like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, somebody would have said, I may have a great idea, I may have a great product. How on earth am I going to get it out there into the hands of the consumers? And that is where the ability to have a platform means that Amazon is in many ways the starting point for many born on the internet brands.
Thank you, Vikram. When we launched in 2012, right, they were convincing people to sell on Amazon was very hard. I remember it was a very small team, and I was part of that team on the operations side. We had a few hundred sellers, one fulfillment center. And if I take you back to that time in 2012, if you wanted to send a courier from one place to the other, you'd spend about 200 or 300 rupees, and you'd be happy if it reached in 2 or 3 days. And here we were with an ambition of building a logistics network which can, reliably offer faster than same day and one-day deliveries across the length and breadth of the country. So we built the logistics infrastructure ground up. We not only built it by investing, which we did in a significant way. Today we have over 60 fulfillment centers. We have 1,800 delivery stations. We have over 2.5 million square feet of sortation space. But we also partnered with the pillars of India, whether the India Post or the Indian Railways. We did a lot of firsts with them. Like, for example, with India Post, we were the first organization to unlock consumer electronics. We were the first organization to work with them for APO injection. So now, even the soldiers in forward areas who are deployed there can access goods on Amazon.in. We worked with the railways to unlock, parcel carriage. We worked with the dedicated freight corridor with Indian Railways. So a lot of first in building what Andy calls primitives, which could be used by D2C brands to reach customers across the length and breadth of the country. We've sort of worked, and Aman spoke so nicely about the fact that how his journey started and how Amazon played a role there. A lot of other brands, so that gives us a lot of satisfaction. What gives me personal satisfaction as an Indian is to work with the pillars of India and give back to nation building, whether it's the post or the railways, or changing lives and livelihoods as part of our I Have Space program, where we partner with Kirana stores. 28,000 stores deliver every single day for Amazon using their part-time, the time they have off in the day. You won't even know that the delivery to your doorstep is actually being done by a Kirana store. We have hundreds of entrepreneurs as part of our delivery service partner program who are empowered, and these are housewives and ex-servicemen who are coming into the network who have no context of logistics and delivering packages for us. We have a huge network where we have people with disabilities. We employ over 2,500 people who are deaf and hearing impaired, who are working shoulder to shoulder with able-bodied people. So those stories of changing lives and livelihoods, whether it's on the logistics side or the seller side, as the Amazon Karigar program or the Launchpad program, where new sellers can come and thrive on Amazon, those are the ones which are truly inspirational.
Right, that's interesting. So that platform then exists. If I could turn to you then, Kamaljeet, when you are taking the decision to invest, because presumably once you've had a great idea and you want to set it up, the next thing is, where do I get funding? How do you get that idea funded? And that's where people like you come in. When you're looking at ideas and looking at whether to invest in something, what are the key things? Innovation, I guess, would be part of that. Quality of the team, ability to execute. What's the biggest, for you, driver of potential success?
So all of the above, obviously. So Vikram, I think my yardstick, and I've been doing this for last almost 25 plus years, I have found one big differentiator which makes us successful or a great entrepreneur from an average one is the purpose why you're doing what you're doing and the passion you bring to the table. Because, obviously it has to be a great idea, it has to be a great innovation, it has to be a great opportunity in the market. But eventually why you're doing what you're doing becomes almost like a, differentiating factor. So, why did Aman start Boat after trying so many other, different, entrepreneurial ideas? Well, there's something that drove him into that direction. Why did Herschel do it? Why did Varun and Ghazal do it? These are all personal stories that we have shared with our founders. And also the passion with which you are building, I believe, is what differentiates you from any large corporate. There's a soul in a startup which is very difficult to find in a large company. And I'm being a little frivolous here, but the fact that there is somebody whose life is at stake, this is all in, and that value, that virtue, is what makes you different from anybody else doing, another corporate kind of, work. So these are some of the, I would say, intangibles. What we are finding, like I said in the opening statement, is that there is so much of opportunity in India. We are at a very interesting point in history where there is a young consuming class, they have good disposable income, economy is doing well, but not enough brands. So I would say for an audience like this that there is so much potential to build exciting new brands today in this country. And that is what excites us as investors. And looking for those passionate entrepreneurs is really what's, the most exciting part of my job.
That's interesting. Some would say that after funding, perhaps marketing is one of the biggest challenges, because you may have the greatest product, you may be making the best, headphones on the planet, but if nobody knows about it, what do you do? Is that something which you think is really challenging? Because you took some really interesting ways of getting the word out there, including cricket and other areas.
No, that's a good question, but I would rephrase it a bit that, without marketing, even the first few products would not have sold. So I think it was not because of funding that the marketing happened. Marketing was happening because I think every product needs marketing, otherwise it's just a commodity. In our field, we did very, different things. Like we used to reach out to you and Rajiv for reviews, and I used to personally do that on LinkedIn. We used to reach out to a lot of, I remember we signed up cricketers, and at one point of time, except Virat Kohli, everybody else mostly was on our brand. We had 8 cricketers which were signing up on board. So the reason was that as soon as they used to come out of the bus, everybody used to see a boat on their head, right? And as soon as consumers used to see, यार इसने boat पहना हुआ है, so suddenly people started, ये हो क्या रहा है? हर कोई boat क्यों पहन रहा है? Then we started doing Bollywood, because in India में as they say, Bollywood and cricket sells. So हमने Bollywood में बहुत marketing करी. So I think marketing तो बहुत important है brand बनाने के लिए, and without that तो you will get sucked up by. And for us, I think all these celebrities helped us bring that awareness that boat एक अच्छा brand है, खरीद रहे हैं. So there was an inquisitiveness, or what do you call it, एक वो शुरू हो गया था, यार हो क्या रहा है बोट में, पहन के तो देखें. And that was one moment which I think we made, Samir and I made people try boat. As soon as they tried boat, then it was very difficult for them to switch, right? That was our biggest USP. Even today, I feel very happy when a boat buyer buys a boat again and keeps buying, and people show me and send me WhatsApps or DMs that, I've got these many products of boat. And the reason is that you get satisfied by one product and then you buy the other product. Then we started another category. People said, okay, these guys make good products. So I think marketing helped us get that first consumer. And I think the product helped us get the repeat consumer. So I think both of them, to answer and finish your question, at one point of time, we had at Boat 18 brand ambassadors, and our total marketing team was 3 people. So we had more brand ambassadors than the marketing people. So we've run very differently to build our brand, and touchwood, God has been kind.
Use brand ambassadors as and influencers.
Yeah, एक पोस्ट डालते थे तो उसमें 10 लाख लाइक्स आ जाते थे. मतलब पहले तो इंस्टाग्राम का वो भी अच्छा होता था कि कुछ डालो तो अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स बहुत अच्छा मिलता था. अब थोड़ा टफ हो गया है, बट पहले तो ये कुछ भी डालते थे तो 10 लाख 15 लाख. So I think we use brand ambassadors for not only for awareness but also distribution through media. They were our media, not at media channels. We spent more on brand ambassadors.
That's what makes sense. Makes sense. Right. So funding ho gayi, marketing ho gayi. How crucial is technology? Because that's really what you did with your engineering background. You brought technology to bear on what was considered a very traditional industry like mattresses.
Yeah, so Vikram, I think we are probably a tech company which sells mattresses, and tech is used for all our decision makings in terms of what products to sell, where to open our stores. So we actually are a completely D2C brand, so we deliver the products to the homes of our consumers. So we index every customer on 300 variables in terms of what is the real estate cost in that particular area, in that building, what are the income levels, what is the cost of restaurant in that area. And based on that, we are able to figure out where our customers are, and then we use that information to engage with our customers, get them to our stores. And today, if I point a particular street on Delhi, and if I were to open a store on that street, I would know exactly what is the kind of revenue I can generate from that particular store. So technology is completely embedded in all our work streams, whether it's manufacturing, retail. Our training is done through a lot of technology. to ensure a very, very consistent experience to all our consumers, irrespective of which store they visit. And I just feel that with AI coming in, it's going to be a game changer. We are already testing it on our sales force to kind of improve their skill sets, nudging them wherever they are deviating from the SOPs. So tech is extremely important for us.
All right, fantastic. Now, Amazon's been in the game for about 3 decades, been in India for 11 years or so. To your mind, how are things different now? Are brands, are companies interacting and engaging with Amazon in a different manner today than they would have done maybe 8 years or 10 years ago?
Oh, yeah. Everything is transformed. Like I said, initially, it was hard to get people to even sell on Amazon. Then you would list and hope sales would happen. But now brands like you were just talking about are exceptionally sophisticated. They're using technology to understand not just what customers prefer, but how should they change what they manufacture based on customer reviews. That's just the start point of it, right? Our sort of endeavor has been to make sure that we create the primitive layer that they can use to get to the customer as soon as possible. Like in the early days, it was about how do we enable seamless logistics. So we launched the Easy Ship program, where brands who are selling on Amazon could come and use our logistics infrastructure and get to customers in every part of the country. We launched the Seller Flex program for brands who did not want to store in our fulfillment center, for us to go pick up from their own warehouses and then deliver to every part of the country. And that sort of enablement mindset continues even now. As brands get more and more sophisticated, the services we offer them are in the realm of AI. How do they use machine learning from a inventory management systems perspective? How do we make global selling easier? All of those things are the things that we are working with the brands and the sellers on. But the ecosystem, like you called out, is very dynamic, thriving. Still early days, but incredible potential.
Right. Talking about AI, how do you factor that in? Because it seems crystal clear that everything is going to change, and things are going to change so much so you don't even know the direction in which things are going to change. How then do you make rational investing decisions in this sort of a world?
So, to be very honest, Vikram, I think the underlying value of what we do is still about understanding consumer, what is the insight, what is the problem you're solving, or what is the new opportunity you are seeking. I think AI is a great enabler, but it cannot replace consumption. So our view is that every aspect of our business would get influenced by AI, but not at the core of what we do. So to give you an example, like today, consumers are asking for very experiential products and services. So we have to make sure that the idea of personalization, the idea of how you engage almost like a target consumer of one, all that is powered by AI. But eventually they are still consuming products and services. So I think our fundamental belief is that the story of consumption in India and, the economy grows another couple of $1 trillion is only going to become stronger and stronger. And technology will be the enabler that will make it accessible, that will make it affordable, that will make it even more compelling, especially with the new brands, almost imbibing the role of technology much faster than some of the incumbent players. So I would say that AI is a great enabler, but ultimately it's the consumption that we are excited about. And that's really, India is well poised for that.
So, is that the way you look at it also? AI cannot replace the headphone necessarily. It can be the voice that is in your headphone, and perhaps AI can help you in changing your marketing campaigns or figuring out how you're, posting stuff on social media. That's where you use AI.
Yeah, I think AI is here. It's like everybody used to be scared कि जैसे कंप्यूटर आ रहे थे तो कंप्यूटर क्यों आ रहे हैं, जॉब चली जाएगी. मेरा पर्सनल व्यू है AI तो आ ही रहा है. If you look at our creatives, there is a lot of I think design team में तो 100% creatives वगैरह use होने लग गए हैं AI से बन के कि that people are putting codes and getting the creatives there. Even in my PR team, there are people. When I ask them to write something, and I see, when they write, their English is not as good as the PR which comes out from them. So I suddenly make out that it's a ChatGPT English which they've used. So I think there are some industries where AI is here, right? They will get disrupted. Some will not get disrupted, right? Like if you look at us also, people will still need to wear headphones. Maybe we'll get sound modulation better. Maybe on wearables, we do, there are nudges which are getting intelligent. But I don't think, AI is going to harm any one of us. It is going to help us, but not harm us.
All right. Harshal, let's just now look a little bit, as we start wrapping this up, looking a little bit ahead as to what the next steps are. Now, companies like yours, you built it up, 200 crores, so successful. Do you then tell yourself, I should keep doing what I'm doing and doing more and more of it and doing it better and better? Or do you then start saying, okay, let's try and find adjacent, businesses or adjacent areas to get into? And it could be, I don't know what it is, sleep apnea machines, right? 40 million Indians have sleep apnea. Somebody's going to make a fortune making sleep apnea machines for them, help them sleep better. What's the way you look at it?
Yeah, so Vikram, I think as a leader of the company, the role that we have is to ensure that we are able to adapt to different changing environments and serve our consumers in a more comprehensive and a better manner. Our vision is to really step change the way people sleep and sit, and we continue to innovate on more and more products which kind of fit into this vision. So yeah, I think, we are coming up with a lot of exciting products. One of them is actually launching AI and mattresses. So based on the pressure that different parts of your body exhibit, the softness or the firmness of the mattress change. It also measures a lot of your parameters while you're sleeping to ensure you get a better sleep quality. So it's very, very exciting with new technologies coming in to really solve consumer problems. And I think our focus is to continue to invest our time, effort, and get the right people on board to come up with very, very innovative products.
The other part of the road ahead, and as we look at the road ahead and which way you see things going, I'm sure a lot of brands are now also wanting to work with Amazon as part of their global expansion strategy, because once they're selling, it's not that tough to then presumably be able to sell to other parts of the world also.
Yeah, so again, cast your eye back about 5 or 6 years ago. If you wanted to become a global brand, you needed to have a lot of capability to invest, and you also needed to have a lot of capability in areas which are complex, like compliance and areas like that. What we've done over the last 5 or 6 years is really democratize this by building it as a service. So today, no matter what size of the brand, small businesses can come on Amazon and gain access to all of the customers across Amazon marketplaces. And also places where we don't have marketplaces that customers order from us. So today, brands in India get orders from over 200 countries. And from just the size of this point of view, there are about 140 million items which get exported. These are individual items, not the total quantity of sales. From a numbers point of view, we've enabled about $13 billion of cumulative exports up until now. And we've just quadrupled the goal that we had to get to $80 billion by 2025. So today, by building that service, which is rather unique in India from an e-commerce perspective, we are the only one doing it at the kind of scale that we are for enabling brands to go global and export at this scale. Today, that service has made sure that every brand can dream to be a global brand. And that to us is satisfying. That you don't need to be a certain size to think that you can access markets outside of India. We'll get you the access, we'll get you the insights, we'll help you with the logistics, and then we'll help you with payments and compliance. And so all you have to do is build a really great product which will be loved by people across the world.
All right, well, we're nearly out of time, but I'm going to just try and sneak in one last question to maybe all of you, if you could answer it really quickly. What's next? What lies ahead in the D2C space? Why don't you start and we'll go in that direction.
I think when we started, there were like one or two few brands only. I think there is huge opportunity to build many brands in India. Even if I look at my industry, there are small niches. Like if I talk about headphones, there are people who started gaming headphones, and now gaming headphones was just a niche earlier, and it has become a mass category. Even when we were starting, people said headphone कौन खरीदेगा? Mobile के साथ free आता है. And mobile phone guys did not get into the headphones as a category because they thought छोटा है. I think ये छोटी-छोटी categories, niches जो है ना, अब ये mass categories बन रही है. इंडिया में तो brands है ही नहीं. Like Kaval would say more about it, but इंडिया में तो brands है ही नहीं. Compared to US, there are like very less
Build
brands.
more Indian brands, you're saying, is that path ahead.
There is so many Indian brands which had come up, and we can. It's just the time for branding and brands of India has just started, is what I would say.
Okay, branding of India has just started. Your view?
I want to call out three things, Vikram. I think opportunity for small town and rural India. I think that is an absolutely amazing opportunity waiting to be opened up. I think the question you asked about India to the world, I think India is ready to build global brands, and we are very excited. And the last one is consumer and health. And we think that this convergence of consumer and taking control of their own health is opening up some very new and interesting opportunities.
All right, Harshal, what lies ahead?
Yeah, so I think consumers are the biggest disruptors, right? They continue to demand better products, faster delivery times, better service, better consumer experience. And the onus is on brands like us to kind of continuously innovate to deliver on those promises. And, the brands which can do better customer experience will be the winners towards the end. And I just feel India is opening up, and there is so much potential in every sector that you kind of see.
Right, Abhinav, last word from you. What's next?
Yeah, at Amazon, we say it's day one. And it's both from the perspective of the opportunity that's ahead and the entrepreneurial mindset that we'd like to retain in the company. I truly believe it's not even dawn of day one from an e-commerce perspective in India. E-commerce is such a tiny slice of retail. There are challenges and there are infrastructure challenges that we need to overcome and build on, but the potential is immense. And like was just said, for us, it is about staying focused on our inputs of price, selection, and convenience, and faster deliveries, and the potential is limitless.
All right, thank you all so much. That's a really dynamic and thought-provoking discussion, so thank you all so much for being with us. I'm also going to quickly give a shout-out, not just to the audience out here, and you can give them a bigger round of applause, but also wanted to give a shout-out to the thousands who are watching on live stream. So on behalf of everyone joining us both in person and virtually, thanks to all of you. Yeah.
Amazon संभव, नए इंडिया की नई रफ्तार।